In the heart of the Persian Empire, a vast dominion stretching from India to Ethiopia, a shadow of impending doom began to lengthen. The year was not marked by a specific calendar of our own, but by the reign of Xerxes, a king whose power was as immense as his empire, and whose whims could decree life or death with a single utterance. Within the opulent walls of Susa, the winter capital, amidst gilded halls and fragrant gardens, a drama of unimaginable consequence was unfolding, a drama woven not by chance, but by the subtle, yet undeniable, hand of divine providence. This is not merely a tale of ancient royalty, of political intrigue, or of a beautiful woman's rise to power. It is the story of Esther, a young Jewish woman thrust into the very epicenter of a kingdom's fate, a queen whose courage, guided by an unseen force, would become a beacon of hope for her people, a testament to the extraordinary power that can reside within an ordinary life when aligned with a higher purpose. The problem, however, was not merely a political one, it was an existential threat, a carefully orchestrated plan of annihilation aimed at the very heart of God's chosen people. Haman, the Agagite, a man consumed by pride and a deep-seated hatred for Mordecai, a Jewish nobleman serving in the king's court, had woven a wicked tapestry of destruction. Through cunning manipulation and the exploitation of Xerxes' authority, Haman had secured a royal decree, sealed with the king's signet ring, that commanded the extermination of all Jews throughout the empire on a single, terrible day. The decree, irreversible and absolute, was dispatched to every province, its arrival a harbinger of fear and despair for Jewish communities far and wide. The very survival of a people, a lineage chosen to carry a divine covenant, hung precariously in the balance, a terrifying reality that seemed to mock the very notion of divine protection. Our narrative begins not with Esther as queen, but as Hadassah, an orphaned Jewish girl raised by her cousin Mordecai. She lived a life of quiet devotion, her days marked by the traditions and faith of her people, a stark contrast to the glittering, yet often morally ambiguous, world of the Persian court. Mordecai, a man of wisdom and integrity, had instilled in her a deep understanding of their heritage and a quiet strength that would prove invaluable. The circumstances of her entry into the king's harem were not of her own choosing, but a part of a broader, seemingly random selection process to find a new queen after Vashti's defiance. Yet, even in this forced displacement, a divine hand was at work, preparing her for a destiny far greater than she could have ever imagined. This script will delve into the subtle yet profound ways in which God's providence orchestrated these events, transforming an orphaned girl into a pivotal figure in history, demonstrating that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, faith, courage, and strategic action, divinely inspired, can bring about salvation. The unique angle of this script lies in its focus on the unseen. While the story of Esther is often told as a tale of bravery and political maneuvering, we will explore the undercurrent of divine orchestration that guided every step. It is about recognizing that behind the human decisions, the fortunate coincidences, and the acts of courage, there lies a guiding principle, a celestial hand that shapes events towards a predetermined, benevolent outcome. This is not a story of a queen who single-handedly defeats her enemies through her own might, but of a woman who, through her obedience, faith, and willingness to act, becomes an instrument of God's will, saving her people from annihilation. The relevance to our lives today lies in understanding that even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges, when our circumstances feel beyond our control, and when the forces of evil appear to be winning, we are called to trust in a higher power, to step out in faith, and to be willing to be used for His purposes. The stage is thus set, an empire teetering on the brink of a catastrophic decree, a people facing extinction, and a young woman, now queen, who finds herself in a position of unprecedented influence, yet bound by the strict protocols of the Persian court. The weight of her heritage, the plight of her people, and the ominous silence of her own conscience, knowing of Haman's plot, would soon converge, forcing a decision that would reverberate through the annals of history. Her journey, from a hidden Jewish girl to a queen who dared to approach the king unsummoned, is a profound exploration of faith tested, courage found, and the ultimate triumph of divine providence over human wickedness. The narrative will unfold not as a sudden burst of heroism, but as a carefully orchestrated series of events, each step building upon the last, revealing the intricate design of a God who watches over his people, even in their darkest hours. The initial problem, therefore, was not just the existence of Haman's decree, but the internal struggle it engendered within Esther and Mordecai, and the immense risk involved in challenging it. The king, Xerxes, was not inherently evil, but susceptible to manipulation, his power absolute yet often wielded without deep consideration. Haman, on the other hand, represented a palpable, human embodiment of malice, his influence a dark stain on the court. Esther's challenge was to navigate this treacherous landscape, to find a way to appeal to the king's sense of justice or perhaps even his affection, without jeopardizing her own life and the lives of all Jews. The decree was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of even the most assimilated minority within a powerful empire, a chilling echo of historical and contemporary injustices. This script aims to highlight the courage required not just to act, but to act strategically and prayerfully, recognizing that true victory often comes through wisdom and divine guidance rather than brute force. The story of Esther, as presented here, is a testament to the fact that God's plan often unfolds through unexpected channels and seemingly ordinary individuals. It is a narrative that reassures us that even when faced with overwhelming odds, when the forces arrayed against us seem insurmountable, there is always a path forward, illuminated by faith and guided by a divine purpose. The journey ahead will reveal how a young woman, initially reluctant and fearful, embraced her destiny, transforming a moment of impending doom into an enduring legacy of hope and salvation, a legacy that continues to inspire generations to trust in the unseen hand that guides our lives. Part 1: The Calling. The opulent city of Susa, jewel of the vast Persian Empire, shimmered under the relentless Mesopotamian sun. Within its magnificent palaces, life pulsed with the rhythm of royal decree and courtly intrigue. Xerxes, the great king, ruled over a dominion that stretched from the known edges of the world, his power seemingly absolute. Yet, beneath the veneer of imperial grandeur, a sinister plot was being hatched. Mordecai, a devout Jew serving in the king's court, a man of quiet dignity and unwavering faith, lived with the constant awareness of his people's precarious position. He had raised his orphaned cousin, Hadassah, instilling in her the deep traditions and resilient spirit of their heritage. She was a young woman of grace and beauty, unaware of the extraordinary destiny that awaited her, a destiny intertwined with the fate of her entire people. The king, having recently dismissed his queen, Vashti, for her disobedience, initiated a kingdom-wide search for a successor. Hadassah, along with countless other eligible virgins, was brought to the royal harem, a gilded cage where beauty and lineage were meticulously assessed. It was here, amidst the perfumed air and whispered rivalries, that Mordecai, fearing for her identity, counseled her to conceal her Jewish heritage, urging her to adopt the Persian name Esther. This was the ordinary world of Hadassah, a life of quiet obedience and hidden identity, a world soon to be irrevocably shattered by the call to adventure. The call, however, was not a trumpet blast, but a royal summons, a seemingly impersonal decree that would draw her from obscurity into the blinding light of the king's favor, and ultimately, into the heart of a conspiracy that threatened to extinguish her people. The subtle, yet potent, hand of Providence was already at work, weaving the threads of destiny, preparing an orphaned girl for a role she could never have conceived, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test the very foundations of faith and courage. The introduction to this unfolding drama is steeped in the reverence of a people holding on to their faith in the face of an oppressive empire, a people whose survival depended on the unseen hand of God orchestrating events through the most unlikely of vessels. The initial capture of the audience's attention is not through spectacle, but through the quiet tension of a hidden identity and the looming shadow of an empire's power, hinting at the profound spiritual undercurrents that would define Esther's journey. Part 2, Trials of Faith. Esther, now known as Queen Esther, found herself adrift in a world of gilded cages and veiled intentions. The initial allure of royal favor quickly gave way to the stark reality of her situation. While her outward circumstances had transformed dramatically, her inner world was now a battleground. The refusal of the call, though not a direct rejection of the king's summons, manifested as a profound internal hesitation, a deep-seated fear of the unknown and the potential consequences of her hidden identity. She wrestled with the inherent dangers of her position, a constant awareness that her lineage could be her undoing. This internal conflict was amplified by the strict protocols of the Persian court, where approaching the king uninvited was a capital offense. Her days were filled with a silent prayer for wisdom and guidance, a quiet plea for strength to navigate the treacherous currents of royal life. The very act of maintaining her secret, of blending seamlessly into the courtly tapestry, was a daily trial, a constant performance that underscored the precariousness of her existence. Amidst this personal turmoil, a crucial encounter provided a vital lifeline. Mordecai, her steadfast guardian and mentor, remained her constant source of counsel and spiritual grounding. He was more than just a relative, he was her mentor, a beacon of wisdom in the bewildering labyrinth of Susa. His guidance extended beyond practical advice on navigating the harem's complex social dynamics. He continually reinforced the importance of their faith, reminding her of the covenant God had made with their people. He instilled in her the understanding that her presence in the palace, however improbable, was not a matter of mere chance, but potentially part of a divine plan. This spiritual mentorship was the meeting with the mentor, a vital infusion of strength and purpose that fortified Esther against the encroaching doubts and fears. His unwavering belief in God's overarching plan provided her with the courage to persevere, transforming her fear into a cautious resolve. He taught her that true strength wasn't in hiding, but in understanding when and how to reveal truth, a lesson that would prove critical in the days to come. Furthermore, the isolation of her position within the harem presented a unique set of challenges. While surrounded by other women, Esther remained an outsider, her true self veiled. This enforced separation amplified her reliance on her internal compass and the wisdom imparted by Mordecai. The tests, allies, and enemies began to subtly reveal themselves, not in overt confrontations, but in the shifting alliances and unspoken judgments within the harem. Though she had no overt enemies at this stage, the potential for them loomed large, and her primary ally was her own carefully cultivated discretion, coupled with Mordecai's external support. The true test, however, was internal. Could she maintain her faith and her sense of self amidst the pressures to conform and assimilate? Her adherence to Jewish dietary laws, a quiet act of defiance against the pervasive Persian customs, became a subtle but significant trial. This daily discipline, this small act of fidelity to her heritage, served as a constant reinforcement of her identity and a testament to her growing spiritual resilience, preparing her for the greater trials that lay ahead. The subtle machinations of those around her, the whispers and glances, were early indicators of the subtle dangers that lurked beneath the surface of courtly life, subtly testing her resolve and forcing her to rely on the inner strength Mordecai had helped her cultivate. Reflecting on this journey so far, we observe a profound convergence of seemingly disparate elements, all moving towards a singular, unfolding purpose. The intricate tapestry of events, once appearing as a series of isolated incidents, now reveals a deliberate and interconnected design. The quiet strength cultivated in the shadows, the moments of profound internal reckoning, and the subtle yet persistent guidance from a source beyond human comprehension, all coalesce into a powerful momentum. It is as if disparate streams, each with its own course, have begun to merge, their individual currents amplifying one another, creating a force that is greater than the sum of its parts. This confluence speaks to a deeper narrative, one where individual courage and divine orchestration are not opposing forces, but complementary threads woven into the fabric of destiny. The echoes of past trials and the quiet resolve forged in moments of uncertainty have laid a foundation, not for an ending, but for a profound transformation. The understanding gained through navigating complex challenges, through discerning the subtle signs of an unseen hand, has prepared the ground for what is to come. It is akin to a sculptor meticulously shaping raw material, each stroke of the chisel refining the form, bringing into sharper relief the inherent beauty and potential that lies within. The journey has been one of growing awareness, of recognizing that the most significant battles are often fought not on grand stages, but within the heart and mind, and that true victory is often achieved through unwavering faith and the willingness to embrace a path that transcends immediate understanding. As we pivot towards the final reflection, the cumulative effect of these insights becomes palpable. The narrative arc, shaped by both human agency and divine foresight, has built towards a crescendo of meaning. The exploration of how hidden strengths are revealed under pressure, how seemingly insurmountable obstacles can be navigated with strategic faith, and how even the most entrenched systems of power can be influenced by a righteous heart, all converge to illuminate a singular, powerful trajectory. This convergence suggests that the unfolding events are not merely a sequence of occurrences, but a carefully orchestrated movement towards a profound revelation, a moment where the culmination of all that has transpired will yield a lasting impact, a testament to a purpose far grander than any individual ambition. The lessons learned, the resilience demonstrated, and the guidance received have all served to shape a narrative that is poised to deliver its ultimate message of hope and enduring significance. The culmination of Esther's journey was not a sudden, dramatic intervention, but a deliberate act of courage born from profound faith. Having embraced her calling, she stepped forward, not with the arrogance of power, but with the quiet strength of conviction, her heart aligned with a purpose far greater than herself. The decree of annihilation, a symbol of human hatred and hubris, was met not with reciprocal animosity, but with a strategic appeal to the king's better nature, an appeal woven with truth and presented with unwavering resolve. This was the approach to the inmost cave, a moment of profound personal risk where Esther prepared to confront the very heart of the danger. The ordeal was not a physical battle, but a tense audience with Xerxes, a precarious dance on the precipice of life and death, where her every word carried the weight of her people's existence. Yet, in that fraught encounter, she found her voice, exposing Haman's treachery and revealing her own identity, not as a weakness, but as a testament to her unwavering loyalty to God and her people. The reward, the seizing of the sword, was not a tangible prize, but the king's unexpected favor, his recognition of Haman's wicked scheme, and the subsequent reversal of the genocidal decree. This was not a victory won by Esther alone, but a testament to the power of divine providence working through a courageous human instrument. The aftermath of this pivotal moment marked a profound transformation, not just for Esther, but for the entire Jewish community. The road back was not a simple return to normalcy, but a journey of healing and rebuilding, a testament to the enduring resilience of a people who had faced extinction and emerged stronger. The decree was overturned, and in its place, a new proclamation allowed the Jews to defend themselves, turning the tide of impending destruction into a celebration of deliverance. Esther, no longer merely a queen, but a savior, continued to reign with wisdom and compassion, her reign a living testament to the power of faith and courage. Her actions had not only saved her people but had also brought about a greater awareness and respect for them within the Persian Empire. The narrative of her bravery became a cornerstone of Jewish tradition, a story retold through generations, a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail. This was the aftermath, where the immediate crisis had passed, but the lasting impact of faith and obedience continued to resonate, shaping the future and reinforcing the unwavering presence of a guiding divine hand. The resurrection in Esther's story is not a literal rebirth, but a spiritual and societal renewal. The near annihilation served as a crucible, purifying their faith and forging a stronger collective identity. The return with the elixir was the enduring legacy of hope and deliverance, a profound understanding that God's providence extends even into the most perilous human endeavors. The elixir was the knowledge that by standing firm in one's faith and acting with courage, even the most formidable forces of evil could be overcome. Esther's story transcends its historical context, offering a timeless message, that individuals, no matter how seemingly insignificant, can become powerful agents of change when they align their will with a higher purpose. It is a profound reminder that faith is not passive acceptance, but active engagement, a willingness to step into the unknown, trusting that an unseen hand will guide and protect. The true practice of this faith begins now, in our own lives, in our own challenges, in our own moments of decision, to recognize the subtle workings of providence and to find the courage to act, knowing that our obedience can be the catalyst for profound good, transforming darkness into light, despair into enduring hope, and setting in motion a legacy that echoes through eternity.